never been done before.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route to do. We the people are free. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited.
Well, g'day, beautiful people. How are you? I hope you've had a very good sort of a Friday and you're looking forward to an equally good weekend. I tip my hat to you. I wear my hat because I know Paul is in the chat, and got to say, this thing has not been off my head for the whole trip away. It is so warm in Canberra. Kept the bonds beautifully warm, like as good as a beanie, I have to say. Other than it doesn't quite cover the ear rolls, but for $2 somewhere, I picked up an ear roll cover, which doesn't look too bad under the hat either. So I have plans one day, hopefully, I'll get to execute that plan, and that has to do with a leather worker in Tasmania. But these are available, thank you, Paul, through Temu for like $12. But I'd like to get some. I don't think they're real leather. I would like to get some that are, and get Voice of Freedom or one of Vince's designs, FBN or the VOF design, maybe burnt into that as a bit of a logo. So inquiring into that as we speak. Anyway, today's been one of those days. I could have shown you pictures of the other rear tire of the car, but you saw the first one, I'm sure, and if you didn't, you've all seen a completely wrecked tire. So that's what I had on the other side. Thankfully, that has been rectified, and I think I'll be able to go a few more kilometres on the tyres that I've got. Please, Lord. It's been a really good trip. We'll talk more about that. But a bloke who I haven't been able to speak to for basically the whole week. When I've rung, he hasn't answered, and when he's rung, well, that's right, he didn't ring. But he can wave. No. I felt like a jilted lover. You know, never get any sex, but now you're not communicating.
Oh, well, mate, you've got these times and periods where you just want to veg out and sleep. I took the opportunity when you went to Canberra to do the one thing I wanted to do most, sleep. So, yeah.
Oh, good. Good. And you only just woke up in the last 10 or 15 minutes. So thank you for considering to join us.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Oh.
2 minutes.
There you go. All right. Well, I gather you don't have a great deal to contribute this week then?
I have. Well, we did do a really interesting thing at My Place last night at the meeting. And I did enjoy watching you on Truth Seekers TV. Quite funny. I have something that I should show you, but I can't show you on live because I think it might get us a copyright strike. So, but they did something beautiful for Truth Seekers TV. So we might stick that up on the Voice of Freedom's Rumble channel just so everybody can have a good laugh. But
okay.
All right. It was very well done by them. So, but we did a really interesting exercise last night. All of the group got together and brought their electricity bills in. And we did a comparison of electricity bills and the average cost per kilowatt hour. And even was lucky enough to get a couple from Queensland and from New South Wales. It was a very interesting result. So,
okay.
Becchio. Hello, Becchio.
Yes, I invited Becchio to join us because I hadn't been able to reach you and see if you were going to be available to wave.
I think that Becchio would be fantastic to bring to the stage, and maybe she can help me out a bit here. But the results were exceptionally interesting on those. So I would suggest to people get together with a few friends and just do that. It was very interesting to see the differences from 33 cents right up to 66 cents per kilowatt hour, etc., on an average for after all costs taken into place. So,
and everybody was able to compare basically how much they were using per household. Were they similar usage amounts, or
no, they
varied fluctuations?
Varied significantly. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, mine was the biggest bill there, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you will insist on running a server farm in your front room.
Yeah,
so.
And I've got kids that don't know the difference between, if it's a little bit this cold or a little bit hot, they need to make sure that they stay right here in the center.
Yeah, which is, I think, 26 degrees, isn't it?
Or something like that, yeah. Hello, Becky.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we this evening? And hello,
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining at such late notice.
I'm so comfortable on my couch with my heat pack.
And that's why the electricity bill's so high. Oh, whoops.
Oopsie. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been very chill down your part of the world, hasn't it? So those electric blankets that you plug in and you wrap around yourself while you're sitting in the cold, is that what you've got?
I do have one, but I've been told not to use them because of the nasty things that it does to your body. But sometimes it gets a bit too cold and I have to do that.
Well, yes, because it does get very, very cold. But a good pair of Ugg boots, not the synthetic ones with real wool.
Ugg boots.
There you go, proper Uggies and another jumper. I find at least one doona wrapped around me. A good set of earmuffs. It's amazing how you can get warm.
Apparently, it's going to be 2 in the morning, I think. 1 degree or something like that. 1 to 2 degrees down here. So,
sorry, I'm just playing with my camera a bit. I've had to move it. 2. When I was in Canberra, -1 was the coldest morning we had. But 1 and 0, I think, were the other 2 days. Didn't actually get frost on the glass as far as I'm aware, thankfully, because I have a cracked windscreen. And if it had have frozen over, then odds are the crack would be a lot bigger. And,
yes.
Well, it's already half a windscreen, so I don't know how much further it can go. But it would have made it a hell of a lot worse. So... anyway, it was a really interesting trip. Great to be part of all that with Paul's appeal, and fingers crossed now we'll get some good news from that in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll wait for the judgment to be handed down. It might take up to a month even. Depends whether or not the prosecutor decides to put in another written submission. He was given that option due to some things that changed in the appeal process. And if he does that, then the boys will get another 7 days to put in another submission on their behalf. And then they'll go away, read those, and then they'll make their decisions. So it probably could be a month before we hear really how it's all going to play out. But fingers crossed it goes well. We have a 4th joining us this evening.
Ooh.
Now, for those who missed out on us on my show last night, I sort of got back home here just at a time where you would have been expecting me to be on, and I was just not capable of unpacking everything, setting it all up, and finding something decent to talk about, other than the shit day that I'd had with flat tires and check engine lights and bullshit. So anyway, thankfully, Truth Seeker TV gave me an hour or so to calm down. And that meant that I came on last night and joined Becky O and the lovely Sherry, who is tonight sitting in the very, very dapper glow of her own screen. How lovely. How are you, Dale?
Good, thanks. Uncle Carl, how are you?
Very, very, very fine indeed. Thank you for having me on your show last night. Really had a ball. I got to let a bit of steam off. So for folks who, you should get it. Beck, you should get a link and post that up in the chat for folks to go and have a look at if they missed your show last night on Truth Seeker TV. Check that up in the chat.
Yes. Let's get the link.
Just some late breaking news. Glenn A. Baker has passed away, 74. shuffled off this mortal coil. Do either of you know who he is?
No idea.
No, I will need a photo.
Shit.
I'm shit with
feel
names. Is anyone
so
else in the
old.
audience like that? I am shit
Well,
with names.
you're gonna fill us in.
I am. Farmgate Philosophy, love your world. It's me, Silver Fox. Oh, thank you, Silver Fox. Love your work. How old do you feel, folks? I'm just saying, how old do you feel?
Well, come on,
Glen
mate.
Baker.
You're just going to spring on us some name that we haven't really. What, Phil?
Well, I gave you head as well. I mean, that's what he looked like. That's what he looks like. So Glen Baker is Australia's probably greatest rock historian. He interviewed the Beatles back in the day when they came here. He has been friends with every major rock band Australia has ever produced, and has written numerous music encyclopedia, historical reference, the whole bloody thing. He is Mr. Music in Australia, if you like. And very sad he's passing, but I think he's actually... I think he's been unwell for a little while. It says here, yes, he's been declining for a while after he experienced a period of illness after the, so many people are shuffling off this mortal coil who've been jabbed up. I know Glen A. Baker was, because he was part of a campaign that was encouraging music people to, artists to get involved with the jab. So sadly, he may have suffered, not saying he did, but he may have suffered one of those turbo cancers or other things that come through. But anyway, for people younger than, a bit older than both of you, Glen A. Baker died today.
Did he do a stint on Hey Hey It's
Becky's
Saturday?
on mute.
Oh. I'm not on mute.
Yes, he came on Hey Hey It's Saturday quite a lot, but he and Molly Meldrum were notoriously a little opposed to each other. Glen A was more a writing journalist, whereas Molly was more a mumbling journalist they stuck in front of a television camera. And Glen A. Baker was more the professor, while Molly was more the lived experience of rock and roll. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay, I'm just sharing that link from last night. I thought I did recognize him. It's saying I can't share the link. This comment has
posted up in posted up in our private chat, and I will share it then, because I'm not going to be told what. It might not want to share because it's a Rumble link.
Oh,
that might be why it's not sharing.
Well, everyone head over to Truth Seekers on Rumble and you'll be able to see the show.
I'm trying. We'll see what it does. Oh yeah, well it says it's posting, so fingers crossed. That's last night's show that I popped up on Truth Seeker TV with. So, ladies, I want to throw something past you. Remember these two? These are the vile nurses in Sydney that got caught talking about how they would be happy to kill any Jews that came into their hospital.
That's correct.
There has been a development in their trial. They had won a court case to keep that video footage out of the trial. But on appeal, and that is the prosecutors went in and appealed that decision, the judges have overturned it. And now the jury will be able to see the footage of them telling or threatening Israeli patients. And I can't imagine that their lawyers will be terribly happy about that, but that's it now. It's going to be admissible. So what do you think should happen to those two without knowing exactly what they did? It's all alleged, of course, but if they're to be found guilty, Becky, how do you stand? Where do you stand on those two?
I'm just trying to. I remember seeing these, and I remember seeing the vile video of what they did say about certain individuals, which I do not agree with.
And they tried lying about it.
Yeah, especially being nurses, because you're supposed to be there to care for the family and for patients. But were they citizens? I don't think they were. Were they?
I don't think the male is. I think the female might be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look at that. But anyway, I think if they are not Australian citizens, they should be sent back to where they come from, and also they should obviously serve time because they're allegedly threatening to kill, which is disgusting in my eyes, and I think any normal sane person will think the same.
Yep. I would agree. If they are eligible for deportation but don't have family back in whatever shithole they came from, is that still viable? Do we send them back anyway?
Why not? Come from the place that you so desperately wanted to depart.
Yeah. Yep. If you're prepared to come here and just disrespect our rules and way of life, I don't think you've got a place here going forward.
Yeah. Well, it says here one of the former Sydney nurses involved in the case, Ahmed, is an Australian citizen who arrived in the country as a refugee from Afghanistan at the age of 12 and gained citizenship in 2020. The female, there's no details regarding that. No public records.
Right.
So that means she is not, allegedly, in my eyes.
Allegedly she is not. You're quite right. Well, that could turn out to be a little bit.
Sherry said she can't hear me for some reason.
Oh, really? Sherry's got a microphone muted. We can't hear her. And she's being attacked by two rather large dogs at the moment in the nearly pitch black. Anyway, I guess we can be happy they're not two big pussies. Clayton, just wanted to let you know, mate, thinking of you. Your dad's passing, the anniversary of your dad's passing. So, thinking about you. Paul has been out playing his sax today. He reckons it needs a new pad or two and a couple of new springs. Sounds like an old person doing a fart when he blows into it.
I think Paul was on our show last night, being a trooper in the comment section.
Very good. Yeah, well, he's Paul is the gentleman responsible. Oh, now let me ask you, ladies. I didn't wear it last night in your show. Do you like mine hat?
Oh, that is beautiful.
Brilliant.
A little profile.
Lovely.
Yeah.
We can thank Paul for that. Peaky Blinders it was for me. Just no razor blades mounted in the thing, but it's called a beret, believe it or not.
A beret.
A beret.
Yeah.
Is that the English version of the beret?
I would say so, because it's very different to the French one. Very different. So thank you to Paul. But yeah, that flash looking hat. And
sorry.
Yep. We're looking at getting some leather ones made, which would be very, very nice indeed. And
I
hopefully
do
have the logo on them and a few other bits.
I do have a video I would like to play. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Vince said he's lost reception.
Oh, well, he's back.
I did send it through to you, Carl, through the link that Vince gave me. So you might even have it on hand if you see something sitting in there. And it's got text.
Vince, can you load it in the background? You are going to load it? Okay, Vince is going to load it, and with a bit of luck, he might even play it. It might just take a minute to load up. I've actually got a lot of video. He might have to do a share screen, actually, because I've got a lot of video lined up in the media center at the moment. And while he's doing that, we can talk about this horrible prick for a minute. Alan Jones, that piece of work is going to court next Monday. And he's not happy. He's lost the bid to block the media from reporting an alleged victim's evidence. There are 22 charges, 7 victims, and one of those victims' evidence was media were allowed to hear it, but essentially were supposedly not able to report it. That's what Jones was hoping. Don't know that will act well. It won't happen now. His legal team lost their bid to prevent the reporting. He's due to face the court on the 22 charges on Monday. He's pled not guilty to 20 counts of indecent assault and 2 counts of sexual touching related to 6 alleged victims. I beg your pardon. Mr. Jones' charges relate to allegations that he touched the victims on the buttocks or the penis, or that he kissed them. It's occurred, or alleged these incidents occurred, at his Fitzroy Falls farm, Circular Quay, his home there, his Sydney workplace, at functions and events in and around Sydney, and at the Gunners Barracks restaurant in Mossman right up until 2020. He has, of course, said, "I have never indecently assaulted these people. The law assumes I am not guilty, and I am not guilty. I'm emphatic that I will be defending every charge." And that's exactly what he will do. They're expecting this case to go some weeks, of course. So Alan Jones being a bit disgraced. And Kyle Sandilands coming out today, girls. He's got a tell-all on his new channel. Have you come up to speed with his new channel and what he's doing?
No,
I haven't seen his new stuff yet. It'll be very
well, you'd need $100 to see it, but that'll get you a year's worth of viewing to his new channel.
Well, didn't he make enough from that court heering? How much did he win? Millions?
12 million, but he's got to wait 3 years for it all. 12, nearly 13 million actually, but he's got to wait 3 years. So he will have got paid today or in the last week a $3 million tranche, and that's why we might have seen the whole thing launch in the last few days, because he's got the cash up there to keep it running now. He will get the other $9 million paid out over the next 3 years. So he'll essentially get $3 million a year for the next 3 years, and then that will see his contract paid out. They're fighting Jackie O still. She's getting nothing at the moment, and I'm pretty confident that's the way it's going to end up for her, unless they really feel sorry in some way, shape, or form. But Kyle has also come out and resigned today from Australian Idol. Are you aware of that?
No, I have not seen anything today. Been working.
So the Mad Witches, or the Mad Fucking Witches as they're actually known as, but the Mad Witches are continuing their campaign against him. They, make no mistake about it, are behind the crash of Kyle Sandilands at ARN, and potentially a large portion of the blame for the reason that the ARN deal that was going ahead in the background, they were looking to merge Channel 7 and ARN together. That deal actually fell through, and Kyle and Jackie's $200 million deal was predicated on that deal more or less going through, but it wasn't written in their contract that it was predicated on that merger. So that's why they had to get rid of Kyle and Jackie O anyway they could. And some are suggesting that that's how this was an engineered ejection, and the only person that's surprised about it is Kyle and Jackie O. However, he has come on with a 4-part tell-all, if you like, about what happened through that period. I'm afraid I'm not interested enough to pay $100 to go and listen to it. So if anybody feels that strongly, you can do a review for us and let us know. That'd be great. But there was a bit of a whinge about how sick he is. And here's the other thing. Kyle Sandilands is known for having almost as many days off as he had on. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration, I've got to say. But he was known for having an awful lot of days off, so much so that in this new contract that he had with them, ARN made sure that he didn't get paid for any day he didn't turn up the radio station, because he was getting paid like whatever it was, $34,000 a morning, I think it was. So they didn't want to have to pay for that if he didn't turn up. And he agreed to that. And therefore, he didn't care if he had 1 or 25 or 45 sick days a year. He'd just ring up and say, no, I'm not doing it. And he might ring up from Los Angeles, where he'd flown over the weekend on a whim. So he won't be able to do that so much now, because he's got a lot of people depending on him to be there on a daily basis for all this content that he's going to put together with a radio show. And he doesn't have anybody to step in and take his place. He has employed a rather interesting choice for mine out of the news.com.au media stable, and Mary somebody or other, to be his news reader and, as he put it, second voice. I think he's trying to rub Jackie's nose in it a bit, just between you, me, and the gatepost. But no, I'm with you, Deb. I wouldn't pay $100 to listen to Kyle either. But if you work it out, I mean, what are we, 12 months of the year? He might be on for 9 of them. And,
Just curious. Do you have to pay to watch Carl Stefanovic?
No.
On
Not
his
yet.
podcast? Not yet. Okay.
No, not yet. And maybe not ever, but I suspect at the moment he's making probably, I mean, he's not being overwhelmed with views either. But he'd be making enough to sort of keep the doors open, I suspect, out of the views that he is getting. And that's why he is so prolific. He's putting up new content on a daily basis. Whether that content, is growing the audience or just sort of placating certain parts of it, I don't know. I have noticed that the mainstream media have stopped promoting him. So they were very happy to talk about him going off and doing this new venture and yada, yada, yada. There's no more talk of that, which is really just cross-promoting him. So we'll wait and see what happens with Carl. I said in your show last night that I'm not convinced yet that he is. Well, I think he is very sorry for his part in the COVID thing, as he put it. Mm-hmm. And he seems to be asking some of the questions that conspiracy theorists are aligned with. But he, for mine, is picking the low-hanging fruit. He is also taking, the Tommy Robinson interviews. He's using that access, which you can't blame him for using, to get to Piers Morgan, to get to Pauline, to get to whoever he likes. But as I said in your show last night, my question is, when will he get serious and start talking to us about what I consider to be the big issues and the deeper issues at heart for this nation? And they could be anything from constitutional issues down to matters of how legal or lawful is an election. And I would ask Carl one question. Why has the Governor-General, for the last 2 elections at least, signed the election writ in the witness position and not as the author or the confirmer or the executor of that document? Because by doing so, it creates a false document and therefore an unlawful election, which the AEC should have picked up on because, well, let's face it, they're meant to display that the election writ at every polling place around the nation. And we know how hard that's been if you walk in and try and ask to see it in the last few years, don't we, ladies? You're lucky if they've even got a printout of it anywhere. So, let alone something that actually has the seal affixed to it and a signature in the correct position. And I would hope that Carl doesn't brush it off as Ben Fordham did as an administration problem. Oh, they just mucked up. He signed it in the wrong spot. Well, my reply to Ben Fordham was, be that as it may, it still makes it an illegitimate election, an unlawful election. So we need to do it again. And the public servants who screwed it up should be made to pay for the new one. Not the people. We didn't screw it up. So quite strange, quite strange. My word, that is a good-looking hound you have there on your knee, Sherry.
I know. Kind of. It's cuddle times, and she just thought she'd jump up and say good day to the audience.
What's her name?
This one's called Rogue. Clearly.
Hey, Rogue.
Hey, Rogue.
Hello.
Who's that?
Rogue is one of the naughty ones. Rogue is his little accomplice.
So, 5 dogs. This is she's only a puppy, so can't exactly tell her to shut up.
Well, no, I understand. I've got 2 deaf ones down here, and occasionally, as you found last night, I've got to do a Barnaby.
Yes.
That would be a good way, a good segment to get Vince to.
Yep, which is the perfect time for this.
Oh.
The Carnaby challenge on who does it better.
Let the dogs out!
Sit down! It's a dog. 5 feet. Sit down! Sorry.
Who let the dogs out?
Hey, sit down! Hey, sit down!
When the party was nice, the party was pumping. And everybody having a ball. Until the fellas started name calling.
Sit down! Sit down!
They call. I have a poor one shout out. Who let the dogs out?
5 feet. Sit down! Sorry. It's a dog.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Oh, wow.
Who let the dogs out?
Yes, well, sit down!
5 feet. Sit down! Sorry.
Oh,
It's a dog.
God. Yeah, it is. Thank you.
So when they finish recovering, that is the wonderful work of Truth Seekers TV, guys. Well worth going and giving them a full-on watch on Rumble. All right, so with that, and before I actually had the internet drop out, first one in a while. But
Well,
there you go.
who did it better, everyone?
Thank you, ladies. Who did it better? Yeah, maybe we should whiz over to the chat and have a bit of a look. Personally, I think I've probably got better projection than Barnaby.
Oh God!
Because if there's one thing I can do, it is project. So dogs in 3 states can hear me when I tell them to sit down. Anyway, I'm just shopping through. Carl's more concerned about the dog farts than the barks. Jenny, you are so right about that. I am so concerned. I am so concerned that this lives beside me. This is a disinfectant surface spray with a very nice smell to it. And I've got her, Bella is down here lying at my feet with her bum pointed right at me. But I haven't been around for a little while. I don't know what she's been eating. So, but thankfully at the moment she's snoring. So more noise coming from the other end than there is from this end.
My poor dog just sat down.
I wonder how many people's dogs at home just sat down. How interesting is that? Hey, what are you doing in the house? Oh, sorry, I just turned him off. What are you doing in the house? It must be in between games. Is at his son's basketball game tonight in Brisbane.
Nice.
And when I say his son's basketball game, I think there's 2 of them that the young bloke is playing in. So some
good.
sort of big. He's like playing Brisbane A grade volleyball, not basketball. Beg your pardon, volleyball.
Wow.
And being trained by an Olympian volleyballer. And I reckon with a little bit of, they reckon he's a very good talent. So with a little bit of training, a little bit of luck, a little bit of dedication, we might be seeing him on the volleyball court in Brisbane in 2032. So, yip-yah, if you're in for that kind of thing. I mean, I'm always up for sportsmen and women excelling and doing everything. I'm just not a big fan of things like the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics, which I think it's simply there for the elite. And if you look at the opening ceremonies, although I didn't look at the Commonwealth Games opening ceremony, but the Olympics opening and closing ceremonies are just satanic. And I suspect that the Commonwealth Games was the same. The only thing that maybe I will find somewhere at some stage and have a look at, I believe, is the opening part of it, where the King and the Queen materialise out of a Doctor Who TARDIS. Well, I like Doctor Who, so I'd like to see the TARDIS.
I don't know where Miss Sherry popped out too.
Oh,
Sherry disappeared.
He's dropped out as well.
Oop.
She has returned. Maybe she had to put the dog out. Room meat dog farts are the worst. Well, maybe that's what these things have been having, because
Definitely.
it is like something has crawled back up inside them and died. I mean, you know, when one of them farts here, the wallpaper starts coming off the bloody laminate thing on the. It just falls off slowly. So, no, they are rancid.
What else are we talking about this evening?
Oh, we've got a cooker in tonight.
Maybe it's the same one from last time.
Oh, well, Fat Carl with a Q. There's a bit of fun. You know, I've been listening to people try and upset me with fat anything for I don't know how many years. And it is the lowest hanging fruit for morons. And that one excels and has shown itself for what it is. Hardly creative, you dipshit. But anyway, I'm not going to be drawn on you. You will be out of the chat probably by now. And if not, I see you pop up.
Could have kept him in just to make him.
No, I just I don't. Here's a tip. If I can give you ladies a tip with you and your little swathe of trolls, ignore them.
Yeah,
they are pustules on the arse of baboons. They are mice with the voice of lions, weak gutted pricks, simps, gutless morons who have very little to offer other than some old tired fat insult, because they're not smart enough to come up with anything new. And they hope that you highlight them. Like, I've done the wrong thing by even mentioning that turd of a human being who has nothing to offer humanity other than to be rude and insulting to people who don't believe whatever they believe. This is the kind of life that kind of person chooses to live. Maybe they would choose to live vicariously through us. I choose to treat them like a cancer and give them no oxygen. I don't acknowledge them. I've worked with trolls all my life. Before the internet, I was working with trolls. Okay, they used to ring up back in those days. They could actually talk to you. They'd think they were very brave on the phone and tell you just how bad you were on the radio and all that sort of thing. And then, of course, I'd start a competition to say, come in and be a radio announcer, and stick one of those fuck knuckles in front of a microphone and a radio desk and say, there you go, there's your radio show. Go and show us how easy it is, you knob. But they learned they weren't so smart then. So Anyway, they're just not worth indulging.
Yeah, he's
I
back.
couldn't care less. Well, somebody hasn't banned him then, or her. I don't know. Might be both for all I know.
He's running off the Rumble channel, and that's the reason why I tried to ban him, but I couldn't.
Why was
he's
my
on the Rumble channel.
funny after you left the donkey?
While we can ban people in StreamYard here who are on YouTube, we can't necessarily do it on Rumble. So,
can I do it if I go to the Rumble channel?
You might be able to, but I've got to find out which Rumble channel, whether he's on the Freedom Broadcasting one or on VOF one. So,
welcome. Welcome.
You always find the cookers go to insults because they got no facts. So, fair enough.
Okay, on with the next. What are we talking about?
Yep. I'll leave you to it.
Oh,
okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah, he's on the Rumble, on our Rumble channel, Vince. So, oh shit, what have I just shut down? Have I shut you down? Have I shut them down? No, right, good. There you go. Anyway, nice to see you. Nice to see you. You could say, oh no, but now that we know what channel you're on, I've got some friends right now who are backtracking, and we'll find out not only who and where you are, but all sorts of things about your interesting computer. So thanks for joining. I haven't had one of those for a while, you know. It makes the blood run thin. I really look forward to that. Anyway, ladies, let's move on and move away from the fuck knuckles. And can I ask you, did you see the moon today?
No.
Well, that was taken at 4:00 this afternoon in Brisbane. But at the same time, in Texas, the full moon was visible.
Really?
So that is the moon today at 4:00. Not our full moon. I think our full moon was last night, or maybe it's tonight. But at 4:00 today, Australian Eastern Standard Time, it was also a full moon in Texas. And I just think that's a little weird. Now, our resident round earth know-it-all might have a word to say about that. Vincenzo.
Oh, yep. What? Sorry. No. I was busily chasing one little turkey. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right.
Caught me on the hop.
If we are seeing the moon here on the East Coast at 4:00 in the afternoon today, and at the same time they are also seeing a similar moon, not exactly the same moon, in Texas, how can that be?
I'll give a really good scientific explanation. A mirage. There we go. That's the best. Why not? I can pick any word out of the whole scientific thing and say that's what it was. And of course, 98% of people will believe it because somebody with authority said it. Oh, no, I don't have authority though.
So you're suggesting as a mirage, we're seeing a reflection of the moon of what, the water in the atmosphere?
No,
or
mate,
is it bouncing? Is it bouncing off the Pacific Ocean, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it would be, off the Pacific Ocean, because effectively, mate, science can do anything, so they tell us, and it's always right, so they tell us.
Well, only one person appears to be always right. He is science incarnate, and
no, I plead the fifth.
Good luck. I don't think it's going to help you. I really hope it doesn't help you at any rate. In fact, I really hope this happens to Dr. Anthony Fauci. But I don't think Fauci's going to go to jail. I said I thought he was yesterday, but today I don't think he will. That pardon, which he accepted, is an acceptance of guilt. So he has accepted guilt. The states may, because I think there are 17, it might be 19 states who are sovereign in their own right and are expressing no desire to acknowledge or accept the pardon. So that in part might be why he played yesterday as he did, pleading the fifth. He couldn't answer any question, regardless of what it was about, because if he answered one, he had to answer the rest. So, but pleading the fifth when you have accepted a pardon, you would think is something you cannot do.
Actually, I thought that was actually the case. So I'm guessing he's probably protecting himself because the whole AutoPan scam is still being played out as well. So,
well, just hang on one moment, because Trump had a word to say about that.
Well, the only thing you can really think about is the AutoPan, because the most powerful thing the president has, they say, is the power of pardon. So he was pardoned by Biden, and I respect that. I know how powerful it is. It's a very powerful, they say it's literally the most powerful thing a president has. Now, whether or not I sign my things directly, always, almost everything I sign directly. You're witness to many of them. He signed very few. The only thing I know that he signed was Hunter Biden's pardon, but I'm not sure that he signed, he probably didn't sign this one. So I can't tell you what the law is. I've heard that you have to have a lot of proof. You need to have letters. You need to have all sorts of things that the person operating the AutoPan has to know exactly what it's all about. He didn't know what it was about because I saw him testify. So maybe there's something on the AutoPan. Other than that, the power of pardon is very powerful.
So the power of pardon is very powerful. Biden has accepted the, and some of the questions that he faced yesterday were, did you ask Biden for the pardon? Why does it go back? Why does your pardon extend back to January the 1st, 2014? And I can tell you that's because that's when the funding started to be sent through NIAID to Wuhan lab for research into COVID and SARS-CoV-2 particularly, and that's all now proven. Mind you, there are over 1,000 pages of his personal diary notes, which have been made public as well, and that was used against him yesterday to great effect by everybody who tried to get him to speak. The man's ego was just out of control. I am science incarnate. Trump must hate me because I'm getting more publicity than he is, and fanboying when he gets to meet certain celebrities.
Yeah. I just think if one exists,
I found it.
I don't think it exists.
It was interesting. It was interesting that I thought it was interesting that it was discovered that he had a pulmonary infarction, which to you and me means a blood clot in the heart or in the chest, or in the lungs. So, and that was after only a couple of days after he had his on-camera shot. So, if there were doubts that they weren't getting the real deal, then that can probably be dispelled, can't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think Ghost and Space Shot was speaking about that on their segment the other day. You have to have a listen to that one. It's pretty good. I've only listened to part of it, so I can't really comment, but they did bring up Fauci with his condition after the vaccine.
Yeah. Well, clearly a sick man in more ways than one, Vince.
Yeah. Well, just a slight diversion, considering we're talking all things presidential, right? The presidential alert that everybody got on their phones. Everybody's asking the question, how come it said presidential alert? It's because that's built into the software. It's depending on the operating system of the phone. When it gets an emergency alert, it's going to tie it to a particular alert message that's pre-built into the phone. So that's why it says presidential alert on some and Oz alert on others. It's depending on the software and what it's tied into. So It wasn't coming from the president.
No. The presidential alert, the only difference between the presidential alert and what you're calling the Oz alert, which didn't say Oz alert, it said critical alert.
Okay.
And then it was
I didn't get it.
Whatever.
Me neither.
The only difference was that there was presidential alert across the top of it, and it was a white picture rather than a see-through message on your notification screen.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying.
I thought to do with its transmissions.
No, the transmission only sends the message. How it is displayed on the screen is determined by the software on the phone.
Yeah,
right?
And it depends on the age of the phone, isn't it?
The header on the phone is also determined by the software on the phone.
Yeah.
So it says it's sending through
if you've got
alert. Yeah.
So if you've got one of those cheaper phones, $100 phone over the counter at any supermarket, is that likely to have an American's version of the software rather than a regionalized version that you would expect to get through an update with Apple or Samsung?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all relative to the software version and what one it's using. Yes. So it's only purely determined by the phone when it receives the message, how it ties it in according and displays it according to the software. Yeah. The software can't give a specific thing because of the way it's broadcasted out. So yes, it's a software thing only. But
okay.
Those little mistakes are how some people get massive conspiracy theories going. So there we go. Thought I'd explain that part as well.
Good on you. Thanks for your help on that. Great news out of Victoria this week. Lily D'Ambrosio has quit. Jacinta Allan has been ousted as Premier. I don't know that that's great news. But Lily D'Ambrosio is the minister responsible for the devastation of so many farmers' properties with this bullshit renewables, I beg your pardon, dream of bringing bloody fan power down from the north through the northwestern areas of Victoria. Now she's been taken out. I want to draw everybody's attention to, particularly in Victoria, how many things have changed since that EBS came out. Jacinta Allan was ousted. Two other, I can't remember who they are, but there were two other Victorian ministers who quit as well around about the same time.
Sherry remembers.
Now this D'Ambrosio has gone as well, and all of it since the EBS. I just find it a little interesting. However, there are bigger concerns. There is a company in your neck of the woods, Vince, down near Tailem Bend, called Zen Energy, and they have a problem.
Well, I think this is Zen Energy, which has just gone into administration, Tailem Bend, and right across the road is a massive substation. We've got to look forward to a lot more renewable projects going into administration, and the risk to landholders and agriculture is monumentally large if you've signed up with an energy company that goes into liquidation. The consequences for your contracts, for your payments, and for your counterparty risk on who is actually going to own the projects in the end are absolutely enormous.
And that's the thing. What happens when these companies go tits up? You're not going to get paid anymore. Some other company will come along and do a buy-up of the grid at a vastly reduced rate, which will mean that your contract is null and void. You'll have to get a new one, and they'll say, "Oh no, well look, we can't pay you what the others were going to pay you." What's Albo's excuse? We've had a change of heart. There's been exceptional changes required or whatever. So they're going to lose out, and they're going to be left with the infrastructure. If it's not picked up by another energy company. They're going to be left with all that infrastructure just rusting away on their farmland that could otherwise be put to good farming use.
Aren't they doing it everywhere? They're doing it everywhere.
Black market in solar panels coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Free solar panels.
Rolly, I think you, me, and Pete from Pinaroo need to get together, start thinking about getting a truck and picking up a few of these things off the side of the road. They seem to have put a lot of them on the side of the road for some reason. So maybe we can just pull up with a truck, a couple of good screwdrivers or spanner sets, and we might be able to pull a bit of silver that we can make a few more Voice of Freedom 110s out of.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought. Hey, how do we feel about the staffers of politicians, particularly the Labor politicians in Victoria? I mean, does anybody know who the chief of staff for Dan Andrews was?
Nope.
Nope.
Don't care.
Have a look at this.
Lizzie Ratcliffe, thank you very much for today. Your face says you have one more thing to say before we close out.
I do have one more thing that I want to say, if that's
Well
okay.
read.
I just want to take this opportunity to say to all of the staff working in the government right now, particularly those people in the Premier's office and in other offices who, as a result of the last couple of days, are going to be hurting quite badly in some cases. Some of them will lose their jobs. Some of them will decide that this is the last contribution they're going to make to the Labor movement. The events of the last couple of days do not in any way take away from how hard you worked and how much that mattered and the impact that you've had. And all of that mattered last week, all of it matters this week, and all of it will continue to matter long into the future. So from one former staffer to all the current ones, thank you for your efforts. It is often, I think, unrecognised. So let it be recognised here on Socially Democratic.
Here, well said.
Lizzie Ratcliffe, forever the Chief of Staff.
Sorry, I just had to finish that off. Well, I wasn't quick enough to put that up.
I thought there was some comms
the
in
same
that.
time.
Like, was she trying to say that shit's going to change? But then she backpedaled and said it's still going to stay the same?
No, she's aware that it's all going to change, but don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. You only did what you were asked to do. You did what you did for Labor, and you did it with strength and power and love and honor and, well, criminality and all that. But, you know, well done. Well done.
To be fair, there's
all of you should be dragged before a public court.
Dragged to the gallows.
I was about to say, to be fair, there's probably a lot of staffers in that area that were just doing their jobs, right? It's the higher level ones that you need to aim at. But yeah.
Just doing their job was not an excuse in the Nuremberg trials, and I don't think it should be now.
True. And the fact that most of them probably didn't do anything criminal is also relative.
It would be. Speaking of what I think is criminal, where do we stand on artificial meat, man-made meat?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that's, Abdullah off with a goat having special babies. I mean...
Oh, Carl, really?
I'm just saying it's lab grown. How do we feel about lab grown meat?
Get effed. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's a nut from me.
No.
Nut from you. Lab grown meat has now been made available in Australia, and it's been grown in Melbourne, but it's now been approved for human use.
Whereabouts in Melbourne is it being grown? Do we know a location?
It's in the northern suburbs. I want to say Coburg,
there we go.
or somewhere just north of Coburg in a lab facility there. It's been going on for a couple of years. I did a story on it a couple of years ago, or well, at least a couple of years ago. Now it's been made for real. So if you think for one moment that Coles and Woolworths aren't going to start feeding that or haven't already started to feed that shit to you, think again. Go to your local butcher, develop a relationship with your local butcher, and trust that he knows where he's getting his meat from. You can find out, and usually it'll be from local farmers, local producers. I understand in the city that's probably a little harder to do, but there are still ways and means. And better still, in Victoria, and not far from you, there is, where you are, Becky-O, there is a young lady who is on YouTube called Tara Farms. Now, she grows lamb, or she grows sheep, and she and her family, her dad, she's a young lady, probably in her 20s, with a young husband, and it is their struggle trying to raise the lamb that they then sell through their paddock to plate business. Now, if you're in Victoria, you can sign up to that and get beautiful lamb that you can watch on YouTube being a star while it grows, and go through the whole process of, from birth all the way through to they're on the truck and here they've come back in a box, and we're sending it off to wherever you are. Oh, I think it's anything paddock to plate, I think, is absolutely worthwhile.
I think it's beautiful and great, but I couldn't watch it grow and then eat it. I would form an attachment.
No. Well, you see, that's where, and she has. I mean, this girl's rough, right? Some of these breeding ewes are called the skinks, and some of them are called the skanks. The ram was called Scroat, but Scroat got bitten by a snake and died. Then a ram from next door got in, the fucking bastard ram, I think she called it, because it had brucellosis, and that meant that the farm had to, I mean, it's just been, anyway, it's been really interesting content. It's not quite Clarkson's farm, but,
Yeah, I'm just having a look, but it looks brilliant, her website.
Yeah, it's very good.
And Shepherd and Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's definitely bringing stuff in now for the farmer to the fridge sites and etc. that are currently out there. And if they're looking to sponsor us, we'll be happy to pass out more information about you. But effectively, that's how I buy mine. I buy half a cow every 6 months or so and fill up the freezer directly from the farmer. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't trust what's going on nowadays with the food. So.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Very good. Now, back in 1975, would you expect the women of the day to be terribly outstanding, forthright, or would they be just standing behind their husbands, nodding their heads a lot and saying, what my husband said?
No, forthright.
Forthright.
Equal partners, happy to have their say. I would say that.
Yeah.
Jenny McCallum was a lady in 1975 who was very happy to have her say, and she was very concerned about communism. Why? Because it had come for her 11-year-old son.
You don't think you're getting a little paranoid about this whole issue?
No, I'm not. I'm too damned exhausted to get paranoid about anything. I'm just sick to death of the way they work, the unscrupulous things they've threatened my son with.
What sort of things?
Well, this woman said that they were going to kidnap him, and he's 11 years of age. I've had detectives in this house from CIB at Frankston. I was worried. I do lose some of my composure when this sort of thing goes on. I will not tolerate it.
But are you suggesting that she's ringing on behalf of some sort of communist force?
Well, she's hardly one of our supporters, is she? She's either a raving lunatic or a communist, or perhaps both.
Virtually all statistics would show that over the last 5 or 10 years in Australia, that the communist menace philosophy is now outdated, outmoded, that no one believes it anymore. Aren't you just beating an empty drum?
Not at all. I realise that it is not fashionable to criticise the communists anymore. But since the 50s, communism in this country has become 10 times more powerful. And therefore, they are 10 times more the menace. They have a huge budget, millions of dollars they operate with. Communism is in every aspect of our life, and Australians sit down and accept it like a lot of gutless idiots.
And what, you're not going to?
I certainly am not. And with the support I am getting, I will fight communism regardless of the consequences if this a generation of Australians do not want to go down in history as our first gutless generation. They better get off their bottoms and do something too.
Over the past few months, Jenny McCallum has been reading the thoughts of Alexander Solzhenitsyn. If only Australians would listen to him, she claims, they'd realise the takeover is imminent.
One of the things I'm going to say, Paul, is that Solzhenitsyn has warned America the Third World War is lost. Will the West make a stand to prevent a Fourth World War?
What relevance does this have to Australia?
Well, surely we are tied up in this. By saying the Third World War is lost, he is obviously meaning the communists have taken over.
Mrs. McCallum, you're claiming that there have been attempts to sabotage tonight's dinner. What evidence do you have of that?
Phone calls from one hysterical woman that rang and threatened me, wretched creature, before our march in May. She rang up and in her grating, horrible voice said, "You will not have your dinner at the Victoria Club because we, and I stress we, are going on strike." Well, I sort of laughed and thought, good Lord, the strike is completely nonsensical. It's putting thousands of men out of a job, thousands of men in the unions who are not communists, and there are a lot, don't want to strike, but they are still being led by the communists, and I am convinced that this dinner is being sabotaged. They hope we won't have any electricity to cook with. Well, tell them we've got gas to cook with.
You don't think you're getting a little paranoid about this?
We've got gas.
I love over this.
Well, yep.
That proper bit of
the communist
English
threat
accent
was
still in
real.
there.
And that hairdo.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
But the communist Anthony Albanese is now leading the country. The Fabian Society is in charge of making the laws of this country. And I'm reckoning that dear old Jenny, if she were with us today, would be rolling around wanting to get into the grave.
Hopefully the ghost of Jenny comes
instead,
back.
Well, please God. More people need that sort of strength, that sort of recognition. And while it may not necessarily be the communism flag that is being raised at the moment, most people would think that the biggest flag being raised is immigration, but it is who has started this immigration problem for us, and it is the communists in the left of the Labor government. Just be clear, people. It is that easy. And before we go, kids, I want your opinion on one last video. Do you want to say something, Beck?
I was going to say, did you see the influx of the Africans coming into Spain? Anyone see that footy?
Yes. Yeah. They're swimming around the barriers, and Spain have deployed the National Guard, so to speak, and they're sitting there. They're not shooting them as they're coming over the border, so to speak. Yeah, unbelievable. All right, folks, I want you to identify this for me, if you will, please.
Where was that?
In America.
In Nevada or something? I don't know. Wow.
Well, no, I think it was in Canada or Alaska, because it's actually summer in America at the moment, so you wouldn't see that much snow unless you're in Alaska or. You dropped out, Vince. I missed that. Sorry.
I said, is it recent footage though? The trouble is nowadays that we're getting a lot of repeats on stuff too. So that could be 2 or 3 years old.
That's true too.
You don't know.
Yeah.
It just shows, well, even if it is, it shows to me rather interesting things with helicopters that much lower level, and they're clearly spraying. That isn't, there's an argument to be made for contrail.
No, that was definitely contrail. I mean, it's all that hot air going out into the freezing cold upper atmosphere. Lower atmosphere. And it definitely was cold because we had snow on the ground. So therefore, yes, it had to be contrails. That's my scientific opinion. Just well, I'm not a scientist, but yeah. No, I'm only kidding.
I'm going to give you a link, Carl, just to share with your audience
I like contrail doing SMS, not SMS, like bloody smoke signals out the back, and it all cutting off at the same time.
Dash, dot, dot. It was Morse code. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, what's that link to, Beck?
That's the Ghost in Space Shop Rumble roundtable that they had on 3 days ago, and it is brilliant. That explains a lot of what we were just watching on America with the spraying. And also, a lot about the injections. They've got a lot of information there about what was involved, and also about Wuhan, some material that has never been released. So it was quite fascinating.
So do you think that might have been relative to that, Beck?
I think so, yeah. Maybe from that time.
There you go.
I'd love to know what it was.
Very cool, very cool, very, very, very
And
cool.
just for all those who don't understand my sense of humour, that was me just being a joke. Yeah, they were definitely spraying, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go get some
definitely
dinner.
Spraying. Yeah, I'm going to go and try and step over 2 dogs and find something to eat myself. I'm a bit peckish. So have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Beck, thank you for stepping in, just in case Vince couldn't have, because
you're welcome.
He likes to turn up dramatically and make a big entrance and didn't bother telling me or answering his phone all week.
He was free. Leave him alone. He was like, woohoo.
I had a week off from Carl, people. Is that a bad thing? Oh, did I say that on camera? I'm sorry.
Oh, sugar.
And thank you, darling. And thank you very much for all the video edit work that you did on that video.
Yes.
That was very cool of you. Thank you.
I was laughing.
Yeah,
my
good
ass
job.
off last night. Thank you.
Go follow
Yeah.
Truth Seekers TV.
Very good.
Go follow Truth
Bye.
Seekers TV on
Truth
Rumble.
Seeker TV over on Rumble. See you, darling. The lovely Becky O, and look forward to seeing her and more of her. And go and check out the show from last night. We had a ball. All right. Well, thank you for waking up, Sleeping Beauty. I guess you're going to go off and have breakfast.
Yeah, probably. That would be it, because my body clock's so out of whack again over this last week. It's unbelievable. But yeah. So to everybody out there, stay strong. Keep an eye on the bullshit. And from me, I do this. And you have to click the button, Carl, because I can't. My hand's working.
Right, that I do. My system is locking up and I couldn't see him waving. That's how that was working. All right, folks, you have yourselves a fabulous weekend. I'm just thinking if I've got anything else here that I wanted to show you, but I think we're pretty much done. Oh, actually, there was one thing. Vince told me I should have done this last week. I'm going to bring you back, Vincenzo.
Okay.
Last week after we turned the show off, I showed you a picture and you said, you've got to show that picture. You've got to show that picture. Now, I realize we've had a whole week. Do you remember what that picture was?
I believe that was the one that we're looking to put on a mug. Is that the one you're talking about? No. Okay, no, I can't remember.
No, we're not going to put this one on a mug. This was a picture of me circa 1986.
Oh, yes. You've got to show that. I threatened to screen capture it and put it out there to the world. So you might as well do it.
All right, get ready. That's me in 1986. I didn't write "The Nights Are No Longer Dark and Lonely." I didn't write that bit. That bit was written by, I think it was Richard Burns, or it might have been Noel Roberts, who was manager of the radio station at the time. But it certainly wasn't my creative writing. Nights are no longer dark and lonely. Join me between 8 p.m. and midnight. No, sorry, that was just not something there. No. At any rate,
well,
that's a very young me.
That's a very young Carl. There you go.
Well,
so
signing it would be, that's more, I printed it. I didn't really sign it. I printed it. That's because I used to get yelled at because nobody could understand my signature. And I was like, well, that's the point of signatures, isn't it? But anyway, you can wave again now that I've embarrassed myself from 1986. I don't even know that I want to go and have a look at the
live long and prosper.
And I will do more. Nanu, hooroo. All right, folks, there you go. I've shocked you with a version of me from 1986. Yeah. I probably could have given you better things to go away with for the weekend, but there you go. Pay money, take your chances. Have a great one. Be safe on the roads if you are going to be a part of it. The dickheads are out there, and some of them could be driving with really bald tires that blow out without warning and cause difficulties for you. So stay away from them. That'd be my tip. Might talk to you over the weekend. There might be a little bit of news coming out of America that could be worthwhile. So I'll keep an eye on it. If there is something fun, rest assured, I'll be talking to you. Have a good one.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!